Click the first link in the description for the best Askreddit content. Today I fucked up by not having sex in the bedroom. Obligatory. This happened a few days ago. We have a lot of animals. 5, to be exact. 2 Pomeranians, 1 German Shepherd, and 2 cats. It's a madhouse, and sometimes having intimate times with my fiancé can be difficult. We usually use the bedroom and close the door on the animals. The dogs will bark for a while but eventually calm down and go off to eat or sleep somewhere. The cats typically don't even bother with us. This time, however, we wanted to Netflix and chill. We just let the dogs out and were starting to get going. With the dogs outside, we thought we were free and clear. My fiancé was just getting undressed and I was sitting against the couch on a blanket when this white blur came racing through the room. Seems the cats were ornery and playing with each other. Not a second later, the white cat, a Himalayan, bounded up into the couch and used my erection as a launching platform to jump to the top of the couch and evade the other cat. Now I have a sliced open wiener. I was able to wash out any germs she may have had in her claws, but it still hurt like a son of a bitch. Bled like a stuck pig. 2. I was a little too embarrassed to take it to the hospital. I don't think it was deep/long enough to need stitches. Edit, thanks for the awards and well wishes. Looks like I'll be checking in with the doc tomorrow, but it doesn't look infected. Better safe than sorry. Too long didn't read. Tried to have sexy time with the fiancé in the living room and one of my cats used my erection as a parkour platform. F. If this is true, you need to go to the hospital. Cat's claws are covered in very septic bacteria. Don't lose your member to a cat. This is absolutely the case. If Op sees any signs of infection at all, he's got to get his wang doodler examined by a doctor. Hardcore parkour. Your whiner allowed her to catapult herself to the Himalayas. I don't think it was deep/long enough. That's what she said. To need stitches. Frown. Today I fucked up by looking out the window and seeing how our dog deals with blue balls. So this actually just happened, and unfortunately, while I'm cooking supper, the window over our sink looks out over our back deck. This is where our 5-year-old black lab's doghouse and food bowls are located. He was being his typical self, looking at me through the window with that expression of him wanting some of the food I was fixing. Out of nowhere he throws his back leg into the air and goes to town on an itch, or at least that's what I thought he was doing. I then realized that his mouth was latched around his pink lipstick, and he began violently thrusting. I was shocked to say the least, but before I could react he was done and licking the results off of his lips. I'm just glad that after witnessing that I chose to go with the salmon tonight instead of the hot dogs. They were my 2 options in the fridge tonight. Too long didn't read. Tonight I looked out the window to see our dog giving himself head and finishing the job, all while cooking supper. Why do dogs lick their balls? Because they can. Man walks into a bar and orders a pint and a bag of crisps. As he walks to a table, he notices a dog licking its own balls in the corner. He gestures to the dog and, talking to the presumable owner sitting at the nearest table, exclaims jovially, "I wish I could do that." The owner looks at the dog, then back to the man. He pauses in thought for a second before replying, "If you give him a crisp he might let you." I walked in on my roommate's dog giving himself a BJ. He saw me just as I saw him and the look of shame on his face I'll never forget. At one time I had a roommate with a little dog. He used to stand with one arm on your leg while rubbing himself off with the other. I saw it way too many times for it to have been anything else and he was otherwise healthy. No, I cannot. I can't be the only one who say 5-year-old and immediately got worried before seeing the rest of the sentence. Haha, oh god, that makes me wonder how my dog deals with it efficiently. Today I fucked up jerking off with a random guy from Reddit. Okay, this one is a doozy. So, I like to post on Reddit to some of the more Adult subreddits. This is your warning to not click my profile if you're not prepared lol. In doing that, I get some interesting people contacting me through message and DM. A few weeks back a woman DM'd me and we began chatting a lot over the next days. Very sexual, very erotic, we shared tons of photos and videos. She had been pretty vague about where she was from, but soon she revealed we actually live quite close to each other. This isn't that crazy, we're in a big metropolitan California city. As the talks heated up, we talked about our sexual history and fantasies, and she told me she always had a fantasy of walking in on a guy masturbating. She would watch, touch herself, and eventually be overcome and join in. Thought it sounded hot as hell, and offered some ideas to set it up. I should interrupt this story to mention that when I'm turned on I make terrible decisions. Okay, so, very worked up, we make plans to do this. We decide I'll a hotel room that evening, and I'm going to text her the room number and leave the door unlocked and she'll help herself. I'm nervous but super turned on and get the room, get naked and put on some porn and text her. I start stroking my cock and waiting. I text again, and suddenly there is a knock at the door. The plan was for her to just come in, so I freak out and put on a towel and answer the door and there is a guy standing there. I look confused, and as my erection leaves the clarify starts to sink in and I realize I've been catfished. As this is all sinking in, he introduces himself, and admits that I've been talking to him, but his girlfriend, who is in the photos, is into this. She likes to cuck him and find him with other guys and then she fucks the other guy in front of him. He apologizes for lying, etc. I'm standing there in my towel, so for some fucking reason I invite him in. The idea is still kind of hot to me, and oh, did I mention I make terrible decisions when I'm turned on? Well, yeah, he tells me she is in the car downstairs and he'll text her that I'm down if I'm into it and she'll be up in 5 minutes. Fuck it, right? Lol. So he gets naked and sits next to me on the bed, and texts her. Take off the towel and sit on the bed, and put the porn back on, and like, whatever, let's do this. I start stroking, he's stroking, and we're waiting. I start to get suspicious but honestly, he didn't seem to glance once at me or my cock, just the porn and the door. I'm looking at him, lol, and he's into it too. So then, guess what guys? She fucking is real. The door opens, and the girl from the photos is standing right there. She looks at me and at him, and says Jesus fucking Chris Bryan, I thought you were done with this shit. She storms out, and after a minute of paralysis, he gets his clothes on and doesn't say a word to me, just runs out after her. So I stayed there for a moment, cock in hand, on a cheap motel bed, with porn playing on the computer, slowly realizing what happened as I came more and more back into reality. I quickly got up, locked the door, and took a long, hot shower and thought about my life lol. TL Doctor, got catfished by a guy on Reddit who dragged me into the oh-so-me weird sex setup shit with him and his GF. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? I vaguely thought I recognized your username, clicked on your profile, confirmed it was you by your dick. Yes, I hate myself, smiley face. Did you finish toe? You know what? Maybe my luck isn't so bad after all. Wow, I've never encountered a Reddit mod Earl, what a rare find.